Morning everyone. Today we'll be discussing about the simple data entry using Python and XAMPP. So Python is a free and open source. It's a high level language, but it is easy to learn, simple in syntax, and has a huge standard library, and it's simple and powerful. So in using Python, we'll be using the IDLE as IDE, or the integrated development environment. It is already included with the standard distribution of the Python, and it's based on Tkinter, or that Tkinter is the GUI toolkit of the Python. It is already included also by default in Windows. So what we will be needing for now is in discussing about our simple data entry is we will be downloading and install the Python, and we will be downloading and install also the XAMPP. So after downloading the Python and the XAMPP, so this is the XAMPP GUI. So we need to start the Apache and MySQL. So in order for us to connect the back end to the front end, so in this case we'll be also needing the MySQL. So this is what it looks like with the XAMPP control panel. So it will be running on background, and this will be what our Python looks like. So we'll be running this one. So it's the IDE of idle, so we'll be using the Tkinter, so we can make it into GUIs later on, like buttons. We can add up buttons, labels, as well as the message boxes and all other tools we'll be using in making our simple data entry. So for now, we'll be going to our database with a sum. So in this case, we'll be using the database of with the name DB, and in our case, we already added the DB database, and we will be, as well as we have already added also the student table, and with the data sets of ID, number, name, and age. So going back to our Python, so in this case I have already a simple data entry. So the good thing with Python is you can have all your forms as well as your codes in just a one single document. So this is the one. So in this case, we'll be using also the library of MySQL connector. This will be needed in connection with our Python and our XAMPP. So this one will be importing also with the libraries. The good thing with Python is you just use a simple language like English, and you can separate your codes by just the intention. So in this case, I did not have to type the codes one by one, so because it will be taking us longer for this presentation, but allow me to have it as a conceptualized approach, so we can have the better understanding of the connections of the data and the codes. So in this case, this depth search is we will be defining our functions. This search will be in connection with the clicking of our button, which will be later on we'll be seeing it after. So this will be dependent on these search buttons, but this block of codes uh, it will be connecting with our database. So in this case, we'll be connecting with our local host. Our user is root. We don't have a password, and a while ago I had explained that we'll be using the database DB. So we have a variable, or this one is we'll be using it as our connection to SQL, and we'll be executing these SQL commands. So this command will be saved to this result, to this result variable, and as you can see, it will be also, upon getting the ID number, it will save also the result of other columns to the name, age, and upon closing, if no data will be available, it will be showing a error. So we have other functions also, which corresponds to the buttons that will be clicking later on. We have the clear button, so we will be having also a clear function. We'll be having an add button, so we'll be having also a definition of an add function, as well update and delete. They have also the equivalent connections with our database, as well as the equivalent commands, SQL commands, that will be serving their purpose, as well as a message box. This is the message that will be showing upon successful, and an error also if it is not successful. So in this case, for example, with the def clear, so it corresponds to the clear button. So what it does is, when you click the clear button, you have a an entry of null, so it will be just be clearing out all the entries inside the text boxes. So we'll be proceeding to our this block of codes. These codes refer to the entire window, or the uppermost level of the window. So in this case, it's that TQ window, so the TQ enter window at that. So where we will be placing the geometry of our boxes, labels, buttons. So in this case, for the sake of just the presentation, we just have the our data sets, as well as the types. We will just be corresponding to the string variable. So in this case, this code corresponds to the label. So in this case, the label is ID number, wherein it has an equivalent entry of ID number also. This one will be labeling also the name, age. So maybe it's good if we could have it represented, this one. So we have the label, ID number, this corresponds to this, and the text entry corresponds to this. The L2, or the label, corresponds to the name as well as the entry, this one, as well as the age, and we have the buttons B1, B2, B3, B4, B5. So you have the search button, we have the add, we have the update, we have the delete, and we have the clear. And this one, that the grid, refers to the geometry manager. So we have the three in Python. We have three geometry managers. They are the pack, the grid, as well as the place. So in this case, we are using the grid. So it's just like a grid type placement of our buttons and other uh, tools. So will be so we have already added up some data, so we'll have to start with the search. So in this case, we have already the ID number one, and in order to clear it, we just have to click the clear. So it will be we have also already the ID number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in this case, we need to add 6. So 6. So it doesn't have yet a function for checking and security. So in this case, we have data number 6. And we will be adding it up. So record save. So we need to, if we just need to delete it, just have to click this one, and we have to, so we don't have any more data. So for example, if we search and we have to update it, so it's also updated. So 5, search. So I guess that would be all for now, and thank you for listening.